me ask you guys a question. What does it take to hit a golf ball straight?
I know.
Quiet. Just please ignore our 3-year-old over here.
Please, I know. Ask me, Gene, ask me.
All right, what does it take, Eldrick, to hit a golf ball straight?
I have to hit it solid. I don't know, Gene, tell us.
A square club face, right? A square club
That's
face.
it, I knew, that's it.
A square club face hits the ball straight. What we can do with this machine is we can change the club face. So we can hit the ball straight, which we're going to go ahead right now. Well, this is a slight draw, but relatively straight.
I can hit any shot. It's all about the data and how you program me. And I can talk while I swing.
Let's try not to kill any wildlife. Okay.
That's not my fault, that's Gene's.
Sometimes children can be a little challenging, but
Give me a screwdriver.
I need more power, Gene. Give me more power.
what? Okay. What happens when you hit a fade? Anybody know?
I know, follow me.
An open club face, very good. An open club face, as you come through, that face is open. And as that face is open, we get side spin. And side spin causes this.
Watch this.
That wasn't a boom, that was a slice, but
That's your fault. Tell him he programmed me. Gary, talk to him, please.
all right. So now, opposite direction. What causes a draw?
I know. Close club face. I know.
Let's take a look at what we get here. All right.
Boom.
Boom in the desert. The point of this is the difference that I just programmed that robot was less than 10 degrees in either direction. And that shows you how important practice is and how important it is to be consistent. With a robot at these speeds, the change is very, very small and you get very, very big results. So when you guys practice, when you guys get grooved in on a swing, stick with it, because if not, you end up with this.
Yeah, you end up looking in the woods.
That's Gene's swing.
I'll give you an idea. We've looked at, is Bones here? Bones, are you here? Bones, Phil's caddy, Phil Mickelson's caddy. There's Bones back there. He is right there. Look at, he had 2 knee replacements. The poor guy. If he caddied for this robot, he'd never leave the center of the fairway. Bones Mackay, big round of applause back there for Bones. We'll be back with his man here pretty soon. He's convalescing. Phil had some kind of abdominal thing. I think what did he have? Some operation. So everybody's playing hurt this time of the year. So what are we gonna do with this one, Gene?
Okay, so
I want to hit it long, Gene.
Just ignore it.
I've been in the business for 27 years,
Please,
and
Gene, let me hit it long.
I've been able to duplicate every swing imaginable. And I feel like I'm a pretty good player. And
That's a big joke, huh, Gary?
as I said, I feel like I'm a pretty good player. And I've tried to design a swing that's kind of a single-digit player's swing. I've looked at a lot of
That's
data.
not you. You're not a single digit. Don't be mad. I'm just joking with him.
Who thinks Eldrick needs a timeout?
I don't need a timeout. No.
So the swing has been patterned after me. It's about 108 miles per hour. It launches the ball at about 12 degrees. It spins at about 2,400. It's just under tour level, but it's a pretty massive swing. So when it happens, there's going to be a lot of thunder. So I want you guys to hold your ears, all right? Because this thing is going to generate a lot of force. So
watch this. This
all right.
is just like Gene's swing.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's your swing, Gene. Exactly.
You can raise your children with the best intentions, but sometimes they just don't quite listen to you.
Did you guys all like that swing? See, Gene, they like that.
All right, Eldrick, I give up. Let's
hit it long. Let's hit it long. Do everybody want to see me hit it long?
all right.
Tell him, Gary.
Okay, we're going to crank up here. Hopefully through the noise we won't hear him with this chatter. He is what we call, he's got excess persiflage.
What does that mean?
Yeah, very good. You got that one, didn't you? Excess persiflage. Remember that wording? They call me that on the air. I work for CBS Sports. Anybody know who I am? I didn't think so. Okay, good. All right, Eldrick, what speed are we talking about now? The average speed on the PGA Tour is 113 miles an hour.
I want more speed.
No, we're gonna get to that. I'm old. I'm at about 100 right now. I can't move it anywhere. The big boys are right around 127, 128. So we're gonna set Eldrick up here now for about 125 miles an hour.
This is about 110 miles.
Oh, 110 miles an hour. So this is below.
Come on, Gene.
This is below
I
the
wanna
speed
go
on the
faster.
PGA Tour. Okay, so this guy is not going to be able to carry too many bunkers on the tour or anything else. So it's 110 miles an hour. Launch is about going to be right around 10.5, 11 degrees, which is important because the harder you want to hit it. That was a nice high shot with a lot of spin. You can see that ball kind of rising like that. So that right there looked pretty good, but that's really short on the tour. I mean, very, very short.
That's not nice, Gary.
Absolutely. So there's two different ways to kind of achieve distance. The best way is high launch, low spin. I'm sure you guys have heard about that a lot. If you see a golf ball and it goes out low and rises, everybody says, oh wow, that's a great shot, you hit the ball a long way. You actually didn't. What that is a function of is your launch angle is too low and your spin rate's too high. So if you guys are ever out on the course or the driving range and you watch your driver, this isn't with an iron, if you watch your driver go out and rise like that, you really want the ball to be more parabolic in flight. You want it to go up or go out flare. You want it to kind of keep going and then come down. If you guys ever have the chance to be on a launch monitor, anything above 11, 12 degrees in launch angle and anything below 27, 2800 in spin, regardless of where you are in your maturity level, those are good conditions to aim for, because what that does is that gets the golf ball up in the air and the spin rate stays low, so it allows the ball to travel a long ways.
All the long drivers on the PGA Tour are right around 2300 RPM, which is really low spin. So the lower the spin, it's pretty simple. If you hit a ball low, okay, you want a golf ball that spins a lot to get it up in the air. If you hit it high, you want a golf ball that doesn't spin because you got enough, and that will really maximize how far it goes. So as we deal with Eldrick, and we can mimic any kind of golf swing, we can put the tee up 2 to 3 inches higher, put it forward and let it hit it straight up in the air and pound it, and that golf ball is going to go a lot farther. This robot can duplicate any golf swing in the world.
Anybody?
Any.
Even yours, Gary.
I'm gonna. You're right. I don't. How do you kill a robot? You just pull the plug?
It's called lack of electricity.
I see.
Don't touch me.
Perfect. So what are we doing here? What's the speed of this
We're
one?
going to hit one more, about 110 miles an hour. what I've done is I've raised this on the tee a little bit. So
Always talk into the microphone.
oh, that's helps. That's MC
Gene,
101.
Gene, please listen to Gary.
You don't want me to get hit?
I don't want you to get killed.
I know where he's going to hit me. This 110?
Watch this one.
See how much higher that was? All I did there.
That's fun to hit.
So the last one you
That
guys
one felt
watched,
Good,
it
Gene.
went out like this and rose. All I did there was raise the tee half an inch. So I went from hitting the ball down here to hitting the ball up here. Face tape is your best friend when you guys are practicing. It'll give you instant feedback as to where you're hitting location-wise, and it'll also tell you a lot about where your face is in relation not only to the target by the direction of the ball, but the flight, and you'll be able to look at that really clearly.
All right, let me show you a couple of tricks. You never heard it here. Got it? You never heard this here.
Shh, no one say anything where you heard this. We won't,
The
Gary.
farther you hit a golf ball up in this area, the more the crown collapses. That's the crown. When the crown collapses, it has to come back to its integrity, and it pushes back, so it pushes. Also, the manufacturers will have this area thinned up a little bit, so you even get more rebound. Got it? So the higher you hit the ball on the face up here, and actually a little towards the toe, I know you found out, the higher launch you can get with the less spin. And you can do that just by your tee height and start fooling where the ball is going. But you get some tape on there. If you guys and girls can get really good at hitting it up in here, it's going to go farther. Guaranteed to go farther.
I like to hit it far.
Absolutely. So we have seen if you take a tee and put it in the ground 1/4 to a 1/2 inch and then raise that 3/4 of an inch from that position, at 90 miles an hour, you can get 17 yards of distance increase. That's at 90 miles an hour. And anywhere across where you guys are and girls are, as far as what your velocity is, just remember with face tape, if you're hitting on that upper third of the club face, you're maximizing the technology of these new drivers. And as you saw with that last shot, you're getting a high launch and a low spin. And the difference between those shots at 110 miles an hour is probably 15 to 20 yards. So it goes across the board, whether it's slow speed, mid speed, or high speed, you can maximize velocity.
Gene, they want to see me hit another one.
Yeah.
What's this one going to? How many?
This is going to be about the same. This should
Okay.
be a nice high draw.
More
High draw.
power.
We're calling shots. High draw. That was a high draw.
Do you guys like that one?
Bones, you can find every one of those, can't you? Where's poor Bones? Or his knees out looking. Oh, there he's at the bar. I don't blame him. All right, what do we got now?
Let's see if there's any questions.
Yeah, good idea. Guys, girls, what questions you got?
What shaft is it?
That shaft. That shaft, it depends. Now I'm going to give you a real quick deal, okay? You want to pay attention to a shaft basically only at the top of your swing. Are you a kind of player when you go to the top of the swing and that thing snaps on the way down? Then you need an S or an X. But if it's nice and gentle, then you don't need an S or an X. John Daly, he's got a very long swing, hits a long way. He does not need an X shaft. Would you agree with that, or an S? It's the transition that you snap it down. And if that shaft is bending, then you got to get the shaft, the tightest shaft you can get, or the strongest, so it doesn't torque out on you.
Is that
That is absolutely 100% correct. It's yeah, go ahead.
Is it a guy or a girl?
It is neither. It's an androgynous robot. It's a robot.
I am a machine. I
Yes.
am not human. I have data only. Program me right,
we
and I'll hit
can
it
go
wrong.
up to 130 miles an hour.
More
I
power.
don't
I
want
wanna
to do
hit
it
it
right
that
now
fast.
for safety reasons. We designed it so we capped out at about 130. And the reason is we didn't want to create a robot that was like
Jamie Sedlowski.
Yeah, Jamie Sedlowski, or a man racing a car, something that was completely ridiculous, like 160 miles an hour. So we designed the robot. A little background: the robot predecessors were the robots that designed all the golf equipment, as Gary was saying. So we designed the robot to keep it within the realm of the golfing public, so that companies can analyze different pieces of equipment based on whether you're a junior, a senior,
Or Gary McCord.
or Gary McCord. So long-winded answer to your question, we don't like to go over 130 miles an hour. Yes.
How long did it take to build it?
I like to call myself an overnight sensation of 27 years.
Repeat the question.
How long did it take to build? About 27 years. It's one of the things with technology is you're never done building. Every time that you think, okay, I've got something, someone says, what about this? Or what about that? And that's, to be honest, that's the exciting part of inventing. We really enjoy what we do, and we enjoy creating, and we also enjoy sharing and being able to kind of show what Eldrick's capabilities are, and also show that in addition to golf, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, it can be kind of cool. You can do some really interesting things, and if you guys follow that path, you might be building the next generation of Eldrick in 10 years or so. That we're on the age, or we're in the age, but the dawning of the age of robotics, and what you guys are going to see and what you guys are going to experience, we can't imagine, but we're really, really excited about it.
I'm gonna play golf by myself soon.
The interesting thing as we deal with this, which all of you youngsters are going to become involved with emphatically in 15 years, is the age of artificial intelligence. And in essence, it's this. We are programming this robot over here. Every shot he hits, we're programming it right there. Artificial intelligence is the adaptation to learning. The more he does it, the more he learns, and he builds up these platforms. This robot, in essence, in time, we don't know what that time is, will be able to hit golf shots on his own and figure it out. He looks down there and he sees a target at 275 yards, and he'll figure out the wind, the velocities, and he'll figure out everything, and he'll figure the best shot to hit it. And that's when this robot is going to have AI, artificial intelligence. And go read on it. It's really interesting. And you kids right here are all going to experience it. And it is robotics, it is computers, and it is the capacity of a computer to think. And this is where it's going to get fun. When you can walk up to a putting green and figure out how fast it is, where the break goes, and then figure out the miles per hour he's going to hit that ball and the direction. Because it's all math. It's all math. It's direction, and it's the velocity that you hit it to get it to where you got to go. Instead of programming it, he'll be able to think of it. We're
I'm
going to leave
trying,
now.
I'm still young.
Big round of applause for Eldrick, the robot.
Good
He
luck,
never gets tired.
good luck,
And
everybody.
to all you kids out there, congratulations. You're gonna be the next generation we see on that board, and you're gonna be telling that next generation you want to be there and watch everybody. So go out and practice hard. It's a great sport. Learn. See you later.